So what's up, guys? It's been a little bit. I was camping, so I didn't have no service, and then I skated the next day, or when I came back, it was like a 3-hour drive, and it was quite the session, man. I skated for like 4 hours, and normally I only skate for like an hour, especially with my bad knees. So it was really funny. I went skating, and then the next day I couldn't even walk. But old man problems, I guess. About to be working a lot of overtime at my normal job, so hopefully I can still film and on my day off. So it's like 13 days on, 1 day off. Hopefully on that day off I can go out and try to get some Braille stuff in local skate shops. So far we got 2 shops kind of on board. Definitely got to touch base with them. But so today what I'm gonna do is I'm just waiting for my boy Percy. I just met him the other day, and he's a fairly, new skater, or well, he's getting back into skating, and we're gonna go to the local park probably and do some filming. So I was running the Bone Reds, the old Bone Reds that I bought like 5 years ago, and apparently there's a new version of Bone Reds, but these are the China Reds, and honestly they did really well. They were kind of seized up a little bit. I put some bone speed cream in it and really cleaned the bearings out. I used like some acetone, soaked them, cleaned them all out, put some speed lube in there once they dried, and they were phenomenal after that. So instead of just tossing out your bearings, I definitely try to go the clean route if you're trying to save money. And then I got my nephew into skating, and he's loving it. So we had him set up on a cheap Walmart board. Well, it's from Amazon, and just to make sure he liked it. And yeah, you can ollie and stuff, so I was pretty stoked. So because of that, I went and got him his own board build. It's like a mini logo, only because I didn't want to wait for like Braille stuff. Like, I love Braille, so his next board will definitely be a Braille board, but I didn't want to wait for them to send me one. And he was pretty excited, so I gave him my old Thunder trucks because they were for more of that size board. They're for like an 8.5 and he's skating an 8.0, but I think I like that setup pretty good. And then he got some Bronze 100 wheels, 99A I want to say they are. They're 53 millimeter. I skate 52. Does it really make that big of a difference? Probably not. But yeah, he's tearing it up, but he kept skating in these like basketball shoes. And so they had like a nice curve, like, they weren't like the Air Force Ones or the the Flights. They were like legitly like basketball shoes. So he rolled his ankle a couple times, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna fucking get him some shoes. So when went to Zoomies, talked to those guys, and when we were setting up his board, it was pretty cool because I just got to set it up right there in the shop. I know they were pretty busy, so they were pretty stoked that they didn't have to deal with us. So I showed him a little bit about setting up a board, how to grip it, the differences and the products that were there. And he was super stoked. And because I was with Braille, they hooked me up with a pretty big discount, which was really sick of them. Really stoked for Zoomies to do that for me. So I bought the Bone Swiss bearings. They're not ceramic, they're just the Bone Swiss. They're like 90 bucks at Zoomies. So I was like, oh sweet. And then they come with these like aluminum, like little bullet things, like tunnels, I guess. And how those work is you put a bearing in, you put that little tube in that goes around your truck, and then you put your bearing in, and what they do is, in theory, it's supposed to, when you tighten it, lock it together, so it allows you to get a tighter wheel, and you don't lose any sort of friction, I guess. You don't gain friction from it. I noticed skating without it versus skating with it. We'll touch base a little bit more on that as well. But yeah, I was pretty stoked, man. I put the inner races, and I'm just gonna call them inner races because I don't know the actual term for them, but it did allow me to tighten the wheels and not lose any mobility. So I put about 6 hours on them, and at first I was pretty bummed because I was like, man, there really is no difference for the price. Obviously they probably are going to last a lot longer, so hopefully that makes it worth it. But comparing the 2 boards, I didn't really notice too big of a difference once they kind of broke in. So everybody's saying like, oh, Bone Swiss, you don't need a break-in period. I noticed after like an hour or two of skating they got a little better, and then, you know, like 3 hours in, it was like you could tell the difference. Price difference worth it? I don't know. But we're gonna touch base on that a little bit. I was gonna buy the new Nija shoes that came out, the SB2s. They didn't really have those. I think they had the Freeze. I didn't really like the basketball style, so I actually went with the Nike SB Chore, whatever. I have to look at the name again, but probably gonna skate those today because I've been using DC Graffitis for years. But yeah, so that's a little bit what's going on today. But stay tuned. Oh shit, he's here. Fuck yeah. I'm ready whenever you are, brother. Awesome. Ooh. Oh. That helps me out a crap ton. This is all you do, is you literally be like, hey, I got my boy Percy here, we done picked him up, we're at the park. He's got a little setup that was given to him the other day, and today we're gonna just kind of mess around and get warmed up. Still a little injured or sore, but we'll get warmed up and see how the bearings do, or some shoes, and go from there. How about you tell them about yourself a little bit, since I know nothing about you. I know you got that board the other day, and that was kind of cool. You can talk about that a little bit. And...
yeah, I actually am really fucking grateful for this, because my old board back at home sucked. Like the trucks were just completely screwed. It's the same board brand though, so I'm really happy about that. Zero's really reliable.
Nice. Yeah, because you got permanent wheels, you got bone red bearings. Oh, and he's got, what are these, 52 millimeters also, so that's what I skate. And then it's 101A. And
yeah, I think.
Do you know what all that means? Like the dirt.
It's the hardness, right?
Yeah, so 99A is like the hardest of the hard, right? So 101A, you would think it's harder, but there's no such thing. So companies use 101 or 102, or they say 99AA, and that's literally them just saying my wheel is hard, but harder than the other companies, right? It's just such a weird scale.
It's like a competitive thing?
Yeah, they just say, hey, these wheels are gonna slide a little better than, you know, like the 90s or the 99s, right? It's just saying like it's that much better. It's such a weird concept.
That is a pretty weird concept.
Yeah. But what trucks did you put on there?
I think it's just some compound trucks from Zoomies.
Oh really? Yeah, I have no clue, but yeah, we could talk about that a little bit. And then yeah, you from out here?
No, I live in the city.
Oh, okay.
I'm here for temporary.
Sick. Well, we'll make sure to skate as much as possible then.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm looking for Black Panther bearings. They don't sell anymore, right?
Honestly, I haven't looked into that. I've been looking into the Bronsons a little bit. I got the Bone Swiss right now.
I got bones like the red.
I got reds right now.
I'm looking for the Black Panthers. The Black Panthers are like...
Yeah, I know, like, Bronson's basically the ones competing with Bones. Oh, you did not give yourself enough run up at all.
I know. Those are scary. Maybe I'll like put something to start with, maybe a hoodie, to get the timing down.
Yeah, I do. How I started doing is like cracks, then curbs, and then.
The one is Loki's, Black Panthers, and Bones. Is the three better.
What was the first one?
Loki's.
Oh really?
The Loki's. It's a fucking green bearing.
Oh shit.
Like metallic green.
Yeah.
But it's really good ones.
That's what.
Black Panthers.
I like the Bones, how they do their bearings, like colors by different levels. You know, I like that a lot actually. And like I want to try the big ball bearings next, the they have the 6 ball bearings that are bigger versus the 7. And then I know one company does 8 bearings in theirs, but the theory is less friction.
Whoa. I like the ceramic, but not 9.
Yeah, speed is definitely the biggest thing. Like if you're trying to get onto something or over something.
9 and ceramic, avec 9 and ceramic.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking speed like there.
Money.
I got it before in my English.
Oh, you had it.
I got a
I keep turning front side.
I put some ceramic at 9 ceramic, bro. Bro, every coping I fucking drop it, I fucking go like what 4 or 5 feet out if I don't want.
Absolutely.
Like for real.
Yeah, so far my biggest gap is I want to say 4 feet spread, but flat up to a 4 foot gap. But man, that took a lot of speed. I did that almost, but just like everybody else, I clipped it.
I'm leaning too far backwards.
What kind of board is that one?
That's Braille.
What?
That's a Braille board.
Bro?
Yeah, so I'm actually with Braille skateboarding, so they give me like boards and clothing and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And I just try to get it into local shops.
Look good. How much grown that course?
So they're anywhere from 30 to 50, but they're great. They're fucking. They designed them pretty recently, and
I like the concave. It's decent.
yeah, the concave's nice. Because I skated blind boards for like 20 years,
Oh, yeah.
and then I took some time off, but I switched to Braille when they sent me that one, and I was like immediately noticed the difference. Like I was like, holy crap.
It's decent concave.
And then like the first 10 seconds of being on the board, I landed literally every trick I tried.
I'm not having a
Look
as
a
much
little
trouble
bit
committing.
look a little bit like alien workshops.
Oh man, I haven't seen one of those boards in a long time.
I had a friend who like rode only Kryptonics, and I was like, bro, you know they're Walmart boards right now, right?
Man, you know the best way to like get your ollie flats is parking spots, dude. I try to ollie the parking spot. I'll show you a video though of I got a pretty sick one. Sadly, it was like right into a fence, but.
Nope, doomed to fail.
And you got the Thunders, right?
Yeah, dude, I love the Thunders.
Oh yeah. I got a Mac lights too. The Tensor Mac lights.
See, I'm not a big fan of Tensor. A lot of people have issues with their bushings, like right off the get-go.
Oh yeah. They got blow. Wait.
Oh, that was
I
I
don't
didn't
like
get that
the Tensor
Fair.
bushings, but I just put some.
Two to make it true.
Two to make it true, baby.
And you wanted
the
that.
shit is Mac lights. It's the fucking keeping.
They like snap.
Break the keeping.
Oh shit. Yeah. See, I was worried because
It's all over the keeping is a hole. You can see.
oh wow.
Yeah. That hole is for make it more lighter, but that make it more weak.
Yeah.
Keeping.
Well, especially like I don't know how much you weigh, but see, I weigh like almost 200 pounds.
Yeah.
So-
185.
Yeah. So like geared up, you know, I'm definitely like 190. So that's one thing I worried about with the durability. So like with the Thunders, because I like the original hollows, and then they got rid of the hollows, so now they have the hollow 2s finally. But you got it this try.
Nope.
Mr.
Kinda
You kind of
Kinda
clipped
clipped it.
Yeah.